Hi, Broncos. Today we're going to be talking about point of view. This book is called They All Saw a Cat. So the cat walked through the world with its whiskers, ears, and paws, and the child saw a cat. So we can see how the artist has depicted this cat. When a human sees a cat, especially a pet like this, we can see she has a collar. It's going to be warm and fuzzy. Look, the cat's even smiling. When the cat is depicted like this, from this point of view, we're thinking, oh, so sweet and cuddly and purring, super nice. But now let's look and see how the dog sees a cat. So different from how the human sees it, right? So it's got a long tail, long limbs. Look at that huge bell, probably just jingling like that dog can't wait to just chew it to pieces. So the dog, if there was a dog that wrote a story about a cat, it would probably be a lot different than if a human wrote a story about a cat, right? I would be writing about my cute, cuddly little kitten that I had when I was in first grade that I just love so much. The dog's going to be writing about this mean, hissing, ferocious animal that they're just, irresistible. They just can't wait. Now, a dog probably wouldn't eat a cat, right? Hopefully not. But this fox, now look, it goes from being this long, lanky thing that he just probably wants to chew and torment to, a nice, juicy, probably your next meal, right? This wild animal fox, their point of view is they want to eat that cat. They're trying to catch it. So the cat's walking around outside. Maybe that's a more realistic point of view, what the cat really looks like. The fish saw a cat. So from the fish's point of view, it's floating around in its tiny little fish bowl, right? And look at these huge yellow eyes. It's kind of cloudy, completely different point of view when it's from the fish. Now that cat probably wants to eat that fish, yeah? She's stalking it. She's maybe tormenting it, sticking her paw inside that fish bowl. So the fish is probably afraid. Now look at this sweet little mouse. See those big eyes? That is what the cat looks like. That is the mouse's point of view. It is a ferocious, look how big the claws are. I didn't even notice the claws in any other image, but the claws are huge. Look at those teeth. That's not anything what a cat looks like that I've ever seen. Look how awful it looks. Now a bee. Bees see differently than we do. Their eyes are different. So this is probably the author's depiction, the illustrator's depiction of how this bee would see a cat. So she's walking around. The bird, look, the bird is flying way up high. That is how the bird would see a cat. Their point of view changes. If a bird's flying up high in the air, it's a cat down on the ground is not really a worry for it. They're not really bothered by it. If they have an injured wing and they're laying down on the ground, they're seeing that cat more like probably what the mouse would, right? They would see that cat in a completely new light. This tiny little flea sees the cat hair, right? Their fur. It's up close and personal. It might even see the inside of their skin that we probably don't see very much. A snake, did you guys know snakes can see body heat? So this is what a cat would look like to a snake. Skunks don't see in color. And worms don't have eyes, but they can feel our vibration. So when that cat is walking on the ground, she's shaking the ground just a little bit, and the worm can feel what kind of shape that cat is. And they can tell if it's a big, like human, if it's a little cat like that. And the bat. We know that bats, especially at night, they can't see very well at night, but they send out these sonar signals, right? It's sound. And then that whatever bounces off, that's how they're able to hunt at night and find their food. Not that they would eat a cat, they eat insects, but that's how a bat would see. So this cat looks different to all these different animals and people. And this is how the cat looks to itself, right? If it's looking at its reflection in the pond, then it might just see that. So the author has different purposes and writes in different ways. And the author might want us to think something about a certain character. If we're thinking that a certain character is bad, then they're going to write, just terrible. Like the mouse would write pretty awful things about that cat. But if it's a human writing about that cat, then it's going to be nice, soft, cuddly things. So the point of view can make a huge difference in a story.